the glorious transformation after time travel. Amy Green had been struggling in the entertainment industry for years. Although she had a burning passion for acting, she had always been stuck at the bottom. Her career was going nowhere, and due to some unfounded rumors and negative news, she was labeled as a bad girl by the public and became the object of everyone's scorn. Her life was filled with the exploitation of the brokerage company and her agent, and she spent every day in exhaustion and despair. It was a stormy night with thunder and lightning. After a long day of exhausting work, Amy returned home. The wind howled outside the window, and lightning flashed across the sky from time to time, making the whole room flicker. Amy sat on the sofa in the living room, intending to enjoy this rare moment of leisure. However, not long after she sat down, an extremely dazzling bolt of lightning, accompanied by a deafening thunderclap, made Amy black out and lose consciousness. When Amy woke up again, she found herself in a strange room, and everything around her was ordinary and unfamiliar. She walked around the room, trying to find some useful information. By accident, she saw the face of a strange woman in the mirror. She was full of confusion. Just as she was about to try to recall something, she suddenly had a splitting headache. Her eyes went black, and she fainted again. When she woke up once more, an extra memory that didn't belong to her emerged in Amy's mind. She was horrified to find that she had actually been transmigrated into the body of an ordinary office worker, Ellie. And Ellie was a super fan of the Hollywood superstar Jackson White, with his posters covering every corner of the room. At first, Amy thought this was a chance for rebirth given by heaven. Free from the chaos of the entertainment industry and the exploitation of the company, she felt extremely free. She no longer had to get up early to catch up with announcements every day, nor did she have to face the malicious make things difficult of the media. She indulged in this ordinary and peaceful life. However, the good times didn't last long. As time passed, Amy began to face a series of problems. Ellie's income was far less than what she had as an actress, and life became straitened. Moreover, the complex interpersonal relationships and cumbersome work tasks in the company made Amy, who was used to the life in the entertainment industry, constantly encounter obstacles. Her straightforwardness and outspoken were particularly out of place in the workplace. Her colleagues gradually distanced themselves from her because of these drastic changes, and their daily communication became increasingly scarce. The leader was even more dissatisfied with her and often showed faint signs of reproach. Even her once closest friends, due to her increasingly strange personality, finally chose to break off relations and become strangers ever since. Amy was filled with grief and began to miss her previous life. Although she was often exploited by her superiors at that time, her income was relatively high, and life was far from being as tight as it was now. She didn't have many friends before, but now in this strange world, the sense of loneliness remained the same. What was the difference? She sat in the dim room, turned on the old-fashioned computer, and frantically searched for information about Amy Green on the internet. What came into view was that her was collaborating on a movie with Jackson White and recording variety shows together, and their relationship was gradually heating up during the process. Amy was both surprised and delighted, but then, a surge of uncontrollable anger and unwillingness welled up in her heart. All these should have belonged to her. Why did she have to suffer in this strange world while the other Amy was enjoying all the good things in the world? But she forgot that when her agent excitedly informed her that she had finally secured the opportunity to act with Jackson White, she had responded indifferently and lazily. Amy was not willing to be trapped here like this. She began to search day and night for all the information related to thunder, lightning, and time travel on the internet. However, countless searches only brought disappointment after disappointment, and she never found any way to return to her original world. Worse still, Amy found that her body seemed to be controlled by a mysterious force. Whenever she tried to tell others about her time travel experience, she would have a splitting headache and couldn't speak at all. Slowly, Amy gave up the hope of returning to her original world. When she witnessed the original Amy being mired in a public opinion quagmire and being frantically attacked and maliciously smeared by Jackson's fans, her heart suddenly trembled, and she became more clearly aware that she had no way back and could only be forced to stay in this completely strange time and space. In order to survive in this world, She had to compromise and start to change herself. Amy sat in that dim and narrow rental room, and the walls all around seemed to be squeezing towards her. A deep sense of powerlessness completely engulfed her, recalling the days when she was still at the bottom of the entertainment industry, but still had a star dream. And seeing her current predicament, her heart was filled with unwillingness and confusion. But after countless futile attempts to return to the past, she finally understood that if she wanted to live well in this world, she had to make a change. The next morning, before the first rays of sunlight fully penetrated the clouds, Amy got up early, standing in front of that somewhat mottled mirror. Looking at Ellie's ordinary face in the mirror, she took a deep breath and silently cheered herself up in her heart. From today on, I'm going to start anew. After a simple wash, she carefully selected a set of slightly old-fashioned but clean and tidy work clothes. Although the style of the clothes was not fashionable, she smoothed out every wrinkle carefully, striving to show the best state. When she arrived at the company, Amy took the initiative to greet her colleagues with a smile. Those who had previously shunned her, even if some of them just nodded coldly, she didn't care at all. She sat down at her workstation, turned on the computer, and looked at those dense work documents. Although her heart was a little scared, her eyes were firm. She began to sort out the work process bit by bit. When she encountered something she didn't understand, instead of ignoring it as before, she carefully walked to the colleague's workstation, bent down slightly, and with a humble smile on her face, asked, "Excuse me, I'm not quite sure about this part. Could you please explain it to me?" At first, her colleagues were very surprised by her transformation, but under her sincere inquiries time and time again, they gradually let down their guard and began to patiently answer her questions. During lunch break, while other colleagues were chatting and playing with their phones relaxedly, Amy sat alone at her workstation, nibbling on a simple sandwich while reviewing the knowledge she had learned in the morning. She also occasionally wrote down her insights and questions in a notebook. In the afternoon's work, she was fully concentrated, her eyes fixed on the computer screen, her fingers tapping quickly on the keyboard, not even noticing the fine beads of sweat oozing from her forehead. After work, while other colleagues left the company early, Amy took the initiative to stay overtime. She carefully checked the work completed that day, not letting go of any small mistakes that might occur. When faced with thorny problems, she would search for a large amount of information on the internet or watch relevant teaching videos, trying hard to find solutions. Sometimes, for the accuracy of a single data, she would check it dozens of times until she was sure it was correct. As days went by, Amy's efforts gradually paid off. Her work efficiency became higher and higher, and the quality of the tasks she completed was getting better and better. The leader began to notice this employee who had once given him a headache. In a department meeting, he specifically praised Amy's progress. Her colleagues also looked at her with new eyes and began to take the initiative to communicate with her, sharing work experience and insights. A confident smile finally bloomed on Amy's face. She knew that she was slowly integrating into this new world and was moving step by step towards her new life. During this process, Amy also made a group of like-minded friends. They went shopping, had meals together, and shared the joys and sorrows of life. Under the influence of her friends, Amy became more cheerful and confident, and love came unexpectedly. By chance, Amy met the gentle and handsome photographer Tom. As they got along, they gradually developed feelings for each other. Tom admired Amy's efforts and strength, and Amy also felt the warmth and support she had never had before from Tom. As time passed, Amy liked her current life more and more. She no longer missed her days in the entertainment industry and threw herself wholeheartedly into the present. One day, she accidentally swiped across that photo in the online world. In the photo, Amy Green and Jackson White were walking hand in hand on a Hollywood Walk of Fame, radiating happiness all over. Seeing this scene, the corners of her mouth turned up slightly, and the waves in her heart quietly subsided, as if she was silently blessing them who were far away. Looking back on the bits and pieces after time travel, from the initial confusion and helplessness, to the crazy desire to become the star Amy again, to now achieving remarkable results at work and getting the opportunity for promotion in life. accompanied by sincere friendship and sweet love. Everything seemed like a lifetime ago, yet so real. It turned out that the turning point of fate could also become the most beautiful encounter in life.